Hello, everybody. This is Gareth Cahoon Speaks back here with another video. You can get in contact with me on my website at www.garethcahoon.co.uk if you want to get in touch. It's, I think, day 91 in the Israel-Hamas war. And after the horrors of October 7th, it seems the world has forgot what a tragedy occurred in Israel on October 7th. But what we're starting to see now is the war spreading within the Middle East. You've got the Hamas attacking all over Israel, and it has spread to the shipping areas where um, the Houthis out of Yemen in support of Hamas have been attacking any ships that they deem has Israel ownership or is coming to Israel. And there's been a gathering of the global community. I think it's Britain, America, France, and a few other nations in the global thing to try and let the ships pass without being attacked. Because a few shipping companies, I think Maersk, had pulled out altogether until this collaboration was brought together to try and contact or to stop the aggression that's been happening. I think Israel's been successful in pushing Hezbollah back, and they have stepped short of calling for all out war. Israel is finishing the job in the West Bank and clearing it out as best she can. She's even been able to let some soldiers off duty to return home. And she's also let some of her citizens back into the border communities that were so violently attacked on October 7th. But this thing, it seems to be spreading. The tentacles are outside Israel now. And like I told you, what happens to Israel is a small microcosm of what could happen in our world today. Because unfortunately, extremist elements in the Muslim community that prescribe to the jihad, and they want to bring their Mahdi back, and the Mahdi won't come back until they totally destroy and wipe out all traces of the Jewish people and Israel from the world. But I'll tell you this, they're going to fail, because our God, Yeshua Jesus, is coming back soon, and he'll wipe away every tear that the Jewish people and the Christians have cried, and also any tear of anybody who gives their life over to him, recognizing that they're in need of a savior and that they're sinners that need saved by grace. Grace, grace, put a smile on your face, for it is a wonderful thing, this miracle of grace. We've also seen attacks of at countries that have sort of signaled their support for Israel. India just recently had a bomb go off near the Israeli embassy in India. We've seen our New Year's Eve celebrations doled back and sometimes ticketed, and less numbers allowed to congregate because of threats of the jihadists to attack our Christmas celebrations and the like. There's also been attacks of Muslims in the United States and in France and in Germany, and they've unmasked themselves. You see, they have come out in the open and declared that it is global jihad they want to take over the world and kill the Jews. What they say is, we'll kill the Saturday people first, and then the Sunday people second, and then we'll kill all the infidels that don't prescribe to our form of Sharia law and jihad, global jihad. You see, they have been on the television, they filmed themselves on cameras doing their, according to them, righteous acts of killing the Jews. Yet the world seems to be complacent and have forgotten about Israel. The United Nations has scolded Israel a number of times. South Africa has even brought Israel to the International Court of Justice in The Hague, um, accusing it of apartheid in Israel. But I think the South Africans would need to remember what a true apartheid was. Apartheid was the white people and the black people being segregated. They weren't allowed to go into the schools. The colored people weren't allowed to get jobs. They weren't allowed bus passes. There was numerous things. They weren't allowed the same toilets. There was so much segregation. They weren't allowed in so many jobs and businesses weren't allowed to work in. Yet Israel fully gives the Muslim people that live within their borders. There's Arabs sitting on the Supreme Court. There's Arabs in the hospitals. There's Arabs in the schools. There's Arabs even in the IDF fighting to protect Israel. You see, Israel is not an apartheid state. In fact, it is as far from apartheid state as anywhere else in the world is. It is so amazing to its Arab citizens that they, if you ask them outright without film cameras being on, which would you prefer to live in? Are they going to say we want to live in subjugation in Gaza, where we're kept as literal pawns for the Muslim world? Or do we want to live in Israel, where we have jobs, we have money, we have family, we have homes, we have so much that the poor Palestinians are not allowed to get? And as for the other 54 Muslim majority countries who could take them in, but they don't want to take them in. Why is this? It's because they know that it would be important radical Islam into their countries, and they don't want any part of it. And I myself don't blame them. You see, we need something for the Palestinian people. We need an international community to go in and separate the two and to make sure that the Palestinians can no longer support Hamas, and the Palestinian Authority can't be anymore either, because they've shown that they're totally incapable of ruling righteously. Well, this is my thoughts on the conflict.